Countries like the USA, the UK, I am reading from a zoo publication. Countries like the USA, the UK, France, UAE, and some others have shown deep interest in the probe of Magu. Why do you think so? They're holding on to Lisa Metu. Okay, keep holding him now. All of you will go down. Keep holding on to him. But if you have sense, you release him. And I told you before, I said, if you release Lisa Metu, I will no longer talk about this issue. That's what I told you. As the same thing we told you, Zokala, I told you, I will not discuss it and have not. Release your Lisa Metu, I will keep quiet. You can steal from the zoo as much as you like. That is your business. But as long as Lisa Metu is in Kuje, waking up in Kuje, sleeping in prison, when corrupt Fulani people are in their homes in Dubai, some of them down with coronavirus, enjoying life, with their children driving baby Bentley. No, it's not fair. I won't allow that. I can't allow it. And they know I won't. All of you are going down. So the same way you underestimated IPOB before in 2015 when I was arrested is how you will ignore and underestimate. Keep holding on to Lisa Metu and you see what will happen to you. All of you are going down. Are we going to stop anytime soon? Of course not. And some of them are wondering, where did they get all their money from? From where? Because Chukwu Kikabiama is in charge. If you calculate all the money that IPOB contributes every month, it's not up to what we spend. And you can never know where we get our funding from. Never in this life. And every fund we raise goes towards fighting for this freedom and fighting for every Biafran, including even those that were not part of us, those that followed party politics and rejected what we are doing. Like Olisa Metu, will fight for him. The same way we fought for Josokala. So you don't know that? You think we will abandon our own, so you will take, whereas your own is enjoying, and you allow our own to be taken, we will not allow it. Never, not IPOB, won't allow it. Never, ever, ever. They don't know what they are in for. And also, as I said before, I said that the face of the zoo is corruption. Was Buhari corrupt before he died? The answer is yes. Was Osibajo corrupt or is he corrupt now? The answer is also yes. Because a company in which this is a man that told one Nigeria, let's move the nation forward to the next level. Let's build Nigeria. Let's make it great. Talking rubbish. Behind the back, they are stealing. Let me tell you something that people don't understand about we black African people. You think because you control a budget of $1 billion, you're entitled to 800 million of it. No, you're not. Do you know that if I had the mindset or the nature of a Wazirike, I will be a property tycoon, maybe now challenging Donald Trump in terms of ownership of properties around the world. But I have none. I don't have any need for it. Because the only reward I want in my life is that Biafra is free, that's all. Not material work on a bank or what is rubbish. Imagine if I invest $100,000 over that we spend every month on those working for us, making sure that the zoo is in trouble every blessed day. Imagine if I decide to buy a property every blessed month. Do you know how many properties I will have today? Do you know how many landed properties I will have today? If I were to spend $100,000 on myself and in the acquisition of properties every month. People were before doubting how much we spend. And some of them went to United States Department of Justice. And they saw the contract that we signed with this firm. And you know you can't lie in America. Any money you pay them, they account to Uncle Sam, the Inland Revenue in America, they know. So if you want to know how much we pay people working for us in America, write to U.S. Inland Revenue or go to Department of Justice and do what is called Freedom of Information Request. They will tell you how much we pay. It's not hidden. It is an open, civilized society. That will tell you all you need to know. Osibajo is no longer vice president. Hey, let's make Nigeria one. Trader money. Osibajo has a stake in a company called Simon Cooper's Partners. He has a link to another firm, Ocean Trust Limited. They have quietly stolen. How much did they steal? 100 billion naira. It's a scam. Odu, they call it in Yoruba language. So when you see them coming, one Nigeria, let's make Nigeria one. We are the glue holding Nigeria one. You are the glue holding corruption together. The only good thing about Nigeria is corruption. And a few people are benefiting whilst most of you are dying in poverty, in penury, in hunger, and in disease. And you keep quiet. And when you see those who are fighting to make your lives better, you go and attack their mothers. You people are without conscience. Now you know the difference between white people and black. Some people say, oh, but please don't insult black people, but look at the way you're behaving. Do you know that Aisha Buhari was fingered in a corruption case involving Halliburton of USA? Do you know that Aisha Buhari cannot travel to the USA? Are you aware of that? There is an arrest warrant out for her. Are you aware of that? That is the one controlling your government in the zoo. After her, you will say is Osibajo. Oh, let's leave them. Let's go to the cabal. Issa Funtu and all the rest of them. They are all criminals. The only reason why they want Nigeria together as one is because anybody can steal as much as they like and get away scot-free. That is why they're not in jail. Is this the type of country that any sensible person will go and give their life for in the army? I ask of you, all of you. Are you telling me that anybody with their senses together will wake up in the morning and say, I pledge to Nigeria my country? If you have conscience. Now you understand why I am as hard as I am on black people. You remember also on Radio Biafra when I called, I want to prove to some few elemental idiots that we are powerful. I'm not boasting. Do you know how powerful we are? It's about this news I'm about to tell you. That tells you how powerful IPOB is. This IPOB that I lead. It is a monster. And that is why the zoo is... when I tell you the zoo is finished, I find this year. I say with every authority, this year the zoo will fall. This year, 2020, the zoo must fall. This year that I buried my parents together on the 14th of February, this year the zoo is falling. Now listen. 356 soldiers tendered their resignation in army massive exodus. Do you remember a few weeks ago I asked those serving in the army to resign? Do you remember it? If I tell you that the Nigerian army listened to Radio Biafra more than some people in Biafra land, will you believe me? Today are they not resigning from the army? Did I not tell them? You are serving corruption. The man you are serving under, Buratai, is missing. He is nowhere to be found and you can never see him again. Forget all the Photoshop, all the face masks, he is gone. Stole money and ran away with huge investments in the UAE. These are the people that you're fighting and dying for. In other words, if you're a soldier in the zoo army, and you're fighting and you're not Fulani, you are fighting, one, to defend corruption, and two, for your own conquest. And I'll prove it later on as well. Now, what is happening? Listen to this very news. Google it if you like. No fewer than 356 soldiers in the Northeast and other theaters of operation have applied to the Chief of Army Staff, Buratai, for voluntary retirement, citing loss of interest. If they are not listening to Radio Biafra, has this ever happened before? Okay, people may say, oh, it just happened because of... But how come it never happened until I called for it? Because people can see the truth. Forget about all the petty nonsense. People can look through and say that what IPOB is doing is right. What Nnamdi Kanu is preaching is correct. Now tell me you are in the army and you are fighting. And in that army, Buhari died, they never told you that he's dead. Instead, they brought in Abakari to replace him. And you're fighting and dying for these people. You're fighting and dying for corruption. So where did Yusuf Buhari get all his money from to make him the fourth richest man in Africa? These are the people you're fighting and dying for. Let's say, oh, Osibajo is there, he's a good man. The same Osibajo that stole 100 billion is here now. Is that the one you're fighting and dying for? Okay, let's forget all of this. How about those of you that the Fulani Janjaweed, or even those from Mali and from Mauritania, are in your village killing and raping your mothers? So you are fighting in the Nigerian army to preserve the unity of a country that will just go and send their people, their bandits, to sack your village and rape your mothers. Are you not a fool? Who will serve in such an army? Which sensible human being will serve? You're at the war front fighting in Borno, claiming you're fighting Boko Haram in Borno. The money given that the EU voted, the US gave to fight insurgency and terrorism, Buratai and his friends have shared all the money through central bank. And you're fighting and you're dying in the north. Meanwhile, not only that, nothing is working. You have no electricity. You don't even know when you're going to get paid. You don't have the right equipment to prosecute this very war. Even to add insult on top of injury, the people are in your village raping your mom, but you're wearing army uniform, claiming you're fighting for Nigeria, one Nigeria. I can't understand such mentality. I mean, which human being you are in army fighting in the northeast? and they are in Benue, messing about with your sisters. And you're in the army fighting. So I asked the soldiers, what are you fighting for? You cannot say you're fighting to keep Nigeria one, because to keep Nigeria means to keep corruption together. Only those who are corrupt will fight for. Go and look at all of them fighting for one Nigeria. Look at all of them, they're all corrupt. They are either former politicians or current ones. All of them want to get their hand on the till, to put their hand in the treasury, to become as rich as their thieving predecessor. That's all they want in life. What else do they want? They want nothing else. These are the people you're fighting for and dying for. I commend the 356 soldiers that are left. Everybody should leave and go back to their village. Hunger will not kill you. If everybody in the army decides to go back to their village, it's over. Then people can now come together and decide what type of nation they wish to build. As simple as that. Go back to your villages the way you were before the white man came. And tell me if within 6 weeks your lives will not be different. That time you can sit down and plan, how do we bring water? How do we bring light? How do we bring our roads? Because you are now discussing things that affect you. Not you are in Borno dying. They kill you, you're from Biafra. You claiming you're fighting for Nigeria, and they kill you and they bury you in Maiduguri. Do we bury people abroad? I'm asking you, you that is fighting for the zoo, when you die, they bury you in Maiduguri. Is that where you're going to come in your next life? You're a Yoruba man. You're a Bini man. You are fighting in the zoo army. You are dying in Maiduguri, and they bury you there in Yobe. Is that where you come from? Is that where you come from? Now, you understand, don't you? That is why they're afraid of us. And why any sensible being will be afraid of IPOB. If you're not afraid, what else are you going to be afraid of? That is why they're planning to kill us. Even our own people, they claim, kill him. You will not kill a Fulani man who is in your village, taking your land by force, raping your mothers and cutting up your daughters into pieces. You don't understand that. And you can never understand it. Because that is the blood that you have in you, the blood of a traitor. Even your vice president is a thief. Nobody can do anything about it. Everybody is a rogue in the zoo. Every one Nigerian is a criminal. Look at all those defending one Nigeria. Look at all of them and understand what is happening. Have you now forgotten? Even they said the House of Reps, they now want to start a massive investigation to understand the reason why people are resigning from the army. They have resigned because they listen to Radio Biafra and they can see reason. Once you listen to us, your life can no longer be the same. It can no longer be the same. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. That is why we are doing what we are doing, that heaven may bear us witness. We are unstoppable. 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 People are resigning in the army today. Why didn't they resign before I asked them to resign from the army? Why didn't they do it before? Why not? It's a very simple question. You are fighting Boko Haram, and the Boko Haram is in your village. As you are fighting them, they're putting them in the army and sending them to your village to rape your mothers and to kill your sisters. And you're telling me that sometimes they take them and disappear for life. And you're telling me you're in the Nigerian army. Keep deceiving yourselves. I commend those that have resigned, and I'm asking more people to leave that useless zoological army. All you defend is corruption. All you defend is evil. The more you serve them, the more your village is conquered. The more your village is conquered. Today, tomorrow, and forever. the more your village is conquered. We shall show them very soon. Now listen, it is not, I said it before, that the Fulanis came to conquer all of you. That even in the north, I told you in the north, in Hausa territories, it is a news today by Daily Post. Listen, farmers' header clashes, that's what they call it. Fulani group demands 4% of Bauchi land. Now they know they are Fulani. They want to take the Hausa land in Bauchi. Hausa, have you seen the mistake your ancestors made? Now you're paying for it. The same thing I'm saying to saboteurs in our land. The same mistakes you're making today, you are going to pay for very dearly in the future. If you want to know what your future will be like, those of you that say, oh, one Nigeria, let's make Nigeria one. I'm going to fight in the army of Nigeria. If you want to know what your life is going to be like, listen to this very news. Listen. As the Administrative Committee of Inquiry set up by the Bauchi state government to look into land disputes in the state starts to receive memoranda, Daku Pulaku Group, a conglomerate of Fulani socio-cultural associations in the state, has demanded 4% of the total land mass in Bauchi state. Now you know that when they say not, is a ruse, is a lie. It is Fulani at the top, the governors, the emirs, using the peasants, the Hausa poor people, to control the rest. Now, is it not very clear to all of you now that the Fulanis are not from Bauchi? That Bauchi is not a Fulani land? So when you condemn the whole of the north together, remember this, that even in Bauchi, Fulani want to take their land as well. Now tell me, who is the one Nigerian? Who wants to belong to an idiotic place like this? Tell me that very person. Show me that person. Show me that very person. This is one thing that the Janjaweed will never tell you. This is what the only reason why Yoruba is still part of one Nigeria is because 49% of Yoruba people are Muslims. And the supreme leader of Muslims in Nigeria is the Sultan of... Understand this sequence it's very, very easy to understand. Who is the supreme leader of Muslims in Nigeria? It is the Sultan of Sokoto. And you know, in Africa, people value religion more than their own life. Who do you think a Yoruba Muslim will listen to? I'm asking you, who do you think a Yoruba Muslim will listen to? Where do you think his allegiance will lie? We'll always lie with Sokoto now. Don't you know that? As I told you, Bauchi is crying. Bauchi is crying today. But when we now want to generalize, say, oh, the whole of the north, no. Call them by their name. Fulani Janjaweed, they are the terrorists, not the Hausa people, no. Maybe a few Hausas they brainwashed. So now you understand it, don't you? That's why they have to be afraid of IP. Oh my goodness. They must be. They have to be. They have to be. I'm not Bauchi. They want to take their land from Bauchi. So now you know why I say everybody must go back to where they come from. Go back to where you come from. Fulani, go to your village. Hausa, go to your village. Everybody go to your villages. Go back to where you come from and begin to plan from the grassroots to make the lives of your people better. Because this whole one Nigeria experimental garbage from Britain is not working and can never work. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Listen now to another group in Kogi. We are no longer safe in Kogi. Group cries out over growing insecurity. Everywhere is not secure. Nobody is, and you can never be. Because now the Fulanis are in a hurry. Their men strike force, 2 of them. Their first 11 was led by the dead Buhari, he's gone. Second 11 led by Abba Kyari, he's gone. Now there is nobody, and they're in a hurry. And if you go to Kogi, some of them say, well, we want one Nigeria. Let Nigeria be one. Do you know who raised the alarm? Is one, his name is Idris Ovohere Moraina. Idris from Kogi. Idris Ozovehe Moraina. He called on the governor of the state to change tactics in handling security issues, as citizens in Kogi state can no longer sleep with their 2 eyes closed. His name is Idris. They gave him an Arabic name, a Janjaweed name. He's a proud Muslim. But that did not stop the Fulanis from consuming him. Being a Muslim is a recipe for consumption. They will consume you. The same thing they did to Yorubas in Kwara State. The same thing they are planning to do in Ebonyi, and we said no, it cannot happen. One day I'll release all the videos so you will see it. So you not think I'm just saying it. I have all the videos of the work we had. Fantastic job we are doing in Ebonyi State. And they know it very well. This was from Kogi. One Nigeria, but you cannot sleep with your two eyes closed. Who are the people causing the problems? They are the ones stealing billions upon billions upon billions from the treasury in Abuja. I can see that some people are busy responding to fools on my page. These are computer-generated names. They don't exist. That's what they do. They bribe Facebook and they use them. It's preset to be churning out all this, and you're busy wasting your time responding to fools who don't exist. I feel sorry for you. You shouldn't. People are dying in Kogi State. Who are the ones killing them? Fulani Janjaweed. But they gave them, they said Islam is good. Oh. Allah is great. Oh. Despite Allah's death, still they cannot sleep at night. What does that tell you about the zoological republic? It tells you there is no hope. This is the type of people from Kogi, they are serving in the army. People from Bauchi are serving in the Nigerian army as general, as platoon commanders, as brigade commanders, as tank commanders. Meanwhile, in their village, those they are serving are saying, we are now laying claim to 4% of Bauchi, give it to us. But you're busy in the army, basically enabling your own conquest. Because if you're serving in the Nigerian army, you are enabling your own conquest. The same thing that some of the Janjaweed fathered idiots are doing in Oba. That's what they're doing. It's so sad. The House of Reps has resolved to investigate the alleged mass exodus of soldiers from the Nigerian army, warning that it will worsen the security crisis across the country. Of course, they know. Why wouldn't House of Reps investigate? They're investigating because they want their allowance to be coming in. For Nigeria to be one, that means their allowance is coming in. Their wives and their girlfriends are going shopping in Dubai, living it large, living in Ashokoro, living in Maitama, living in huge mansions. As they pay you 50,000, which is less than £100 every month. That is what they pay you to go and be dying. Let's investigate and put things in order. They know the zoo has crumbled; it can never recover. In this our age and time, in this age, history will call this period the age of IPOB, the age that IPOB brought enlightenment to not just our people, but to everybody concerned. And this is one thing that I find quite bizarre. I remember when people jumped around and wanted very desperately, even some of them, those that claim they want to kill Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB leadership, they are the ones begging and pleading with the Fulani, who are the main sponsors of 5 terrorist groups, to declare IPOB a terrorist organization. But now, despite many groups calling for the designation of Fulani killers as terrorists, the government have said no. The corrupt face of the government, the mask-wearing presidency of the zoo, they have said no. And it is the governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, who is asking for Fulani headsmen to be declared a terrorist group. Not a Fulani man. No Fulani man will call. Never. They will never do it. But you will see an Igbo man calling for IPOB to be classified as a terrorist group, whereas the idiot cannot call for Fulani headsmen raping his mother in the village to be classified as a terrorist group. Now, you know, when I tell you that black people are demented, you can see where I'm coming from. Nobody can argue with that. The zoo is dead. The zoo is dead politically, militarily, and economically. As somebody pointed out, Fulani economics, which I analyzed on Radio Biafra a short while ago, somebody picked it up. Let me see if I can try and play this very person's voice so that you can understand it. It's trying to tell you how the Fulanese run government. For 3 years. Listen very, very, I want you to listen to this because it is very, very important that some of you listen to this, because if you don't listen to it, you will not understand what we are talking about. It won't make any sense to you. But now I'm going to play so you will understand it. I said it before. This is Fulani economics. People don't reason. All they know is to loot, to cheat, to deceive all of you. The same thing they did to Hausa people. Hausa people were so foolish they fell for it. Look at where they are today. They even moved to Bauchi. Today they're asking for 4% of the land of Bauchi that doesn't belong.
Now,
yes,
a refinery,
yes,
that has not functioned for 3 years is paying salaries of every staff. The refinery has not functioned for 3 years, but we have carried on with the salaries. Nobody can sack anybody.
Can you listen?
Why is that?
People are getting promoted. Because the refinery is not functioning.
The refinery is not working. But people are getting paid with your pension, gratuity, life insurance, health insurance. I've never seen such economics in my life. In this period of COVID-19, that the world economy is upside down. People are being furloughed. Furloughed means to put into fallow, please. Not followed. Furloughed. People are being taken out of work. People are being made redundant because their company can no longer produce the goods and services that people want to buy. Now, the reverse is the case in the zoo. That is why when I think about Nigeria, everything is upside down. That even common sense is upside down in the zoo. You see somebody you think can reason properly. They can never ever reason properly. Why that is the case, I have no idea. Now, look at this. Refineries are there to refine crude oil. 4 of them, they're not working. But every year they employ people, they retire people, and they're paying them. Those that retire, they pay gratuity and they pay pension to. Those that are taking in, they pay wages and salary to. Yet they produce nothing. What type of economy is that? Tell me who can survive within such an economy, if not fools. This is why we call Nigeria a zoo. Only animals can operate such an economic system, where an institution that is completely hopeless is hemorrhaging money every blessed day is there being supported by the government. And you're telling me that people are normal in such a place? You're telling me to have regard for zoo people? I think you must be dreaming. That is what is happening in the zoo. Even Osibajo, who is a pastor, he's a pastor, mind you, is also a thief. Even the vice president, who is supposed to be a PhD holder, a legal luminary, I believe is also a senior advocate who should I say have respect for the law, is busy stealing. Because he is vice president in the zoo. That is why no matter who you put in into office, the outcome will always be the same. Isn't it very funny? Let me tell you, considering the type of economics they run, considering the fact that some people are serving in the army when in actual fact their village is under occupation and being taken over by marauding terrorists and bandits. Why is it not shocking to all of you that you claim you have a president, you can never see him live in a democracy, where it is the rule of the people for the people and for the rule of the people by the people and for the people? You can never see him. He can never address you live. He's always, he said this. The only reason being that they are so ashamed of themselves. They are so foolish that all they now need to do is to defend their ignorance and their stupidity out of shame. Out of shame. But we are here to expose them, and we are going to continue to expose them. We are not going to allow them to rest. Never, ever, ever. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. So that they may know that as long as we are here, as long as we exist, there is no way that we are going to relent. The zoo has crumbled, and it must crumble. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how they do it. It doesn't matter how they intend to do it. The zoo can never ever stand. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. I promised you that some of you who are lucky enough I may be able to get hold of you to be able to speak. I may be able to get hold of you to speak very briefly on air. Some of you, if you have anything important to say. But right here on this very platform, the reason why I had to come out to do this very broadcast is because of the people who are in Oba. The people that decided that attacking our mothers is the best way they can prove themselves to their Janjaweed masters. They have failed very woefully. They have failed before. They have failed now, and they will continue to fail. It is as simple as that. What we are doing and will continue to do is to expose everything that is wrong with the zoo. I mean, absolutely everything that is wrong with the Zoological Republic. So if you know those of them who are having their meetings, planning how there is going to be their turn to steal, because when people are campaigning for elective offices in the zoo, who are their role models? They are looking at those who have stolen in the past. They are looking at those who will continue to steal, and that is their inspiration. I have somebody on the line. Please give me your name and where you're calling from. I did say I was going to speak to some of you, and here you are. Please go ahead. Your name is what?
Ifeoma.
Yes.
Ejimadu.
Ejimadu. Where are you calling from?
I called last time. Yes, I'm calling from France.
From France. Please go ahead.
Yes. So I just want to say something concerning this issue about the Oba. My mind is just telling me that, there are lots of people on social media going about talking bad about your name. I don't want to call their names now because it's not good to give them a publicity. This might be saboteurs. This might be their plan to destroy IPOB meeting in Oberland. It might be a setup, so that's what I just called you to say. So we should all be very careful, and all IPOB members should be very watchful, because these people, they are really active. They are saboteurs.
I know, of course they are. And thank you very much, my dear sister, for that. Of course we know who they are, and they can never succeed, not now, not tomorrow, not ever. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from? For the last time, the caller... Yes, good evening to you. Where are you calling from?
My name is Kisilo Ziribu. I'm calling you from Morocco.
From Morocco, what's for... Go ahead.
Oh God.
It's very sad.
I'm very happy. Something that another person, my own family did not do for me. You did it. God, we are struggling behind you. No matter anything you let me do, keep it up.
Thank you.
If you forget what we are doing, we are going to die. Please, my leader, oh God.
You're blessed.
I'm spent.
We are going home. Nobody is going to stop us. There is no Jupiter that will stop us. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. I say it with every authority. Nobody can. They will try. They will fail a million times because we are unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. Who is going to stop us? I'm not an idiot. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from, if you may. Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me? The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Italy. My name is Akujo Binjoko from Mbise. I'm living here in Italy.
Please go ahead.
Madike, this is my first time to get you online. I was very, very happy a lot because this suffering you are suffering for us, no man can stop it. and no woman can stop it.
Is it? Of course.
Because enemy we are suffering for all over the world. Our people die in prison, die in the Mediterranean Sea, die in the desert. Now God have revealed you to come and rescue our pen. And any man who said that this strongly can never be, as in the Mechuku Akikabia must strike that person down.
You see?
All of us will die if Biafra doesn't come. All of us will die. I thank you, my leader. I thank you, Mazi Nnamdi. I thank Nenianya. I thank the prominent IPOB member all over the world. I say that we shall go home. Nobody can stop us because we have suffered a lot. We can continue pursuing this fight until we use our last blood to be spent for that. Because 5 million people die in Biafra land. It's not an easy task. So therefore, anybody who try to sabotage this group, I think we are ready, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Anything you are doing, continue going. And it's all Biafra.
Thank you.
Even your father and your mother who died there in the spirit, they are following you.
Of course.
Nobody can stop us.
It is impossible.
Our blood is very, very hot. We can never stand for this enemy again. We will use our life to be put for this all Biafras we're dying because this thing is too much. We can never continue. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, one thing I don't know how we can continue keeping silent for this our sabotage in home because this thing is too much. And I can continue to let these people. Let me tell you, Biafra never come. It's not ours, it's not Yoruba. It's our people for home. It's our brothers for home. But as in Chineke now, only doing it I get quick anywhere, Maggie. And we are going home. I thank you for answering my call. It's my pleasure. That is my very first time. I was living in Italy. Bergamo precise.
Thank you very much.
Italy. So we are fighting. Nothing can stop us.
Of course, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I thank you, my dear brother, for that. There is nothing anybody can do to stop us. I mean, absolutely nothing. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Thank you, my dear brother, for calling. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your call. We are live and we are direct. And all those who are planning one sabotage or the other, so to speak, they have all failed. I can assure them that they have failed and they will continue to fail. There is nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing, because we are unstoppable. Unstoppable now, tomorrow, and ever, as we keep saying. Absolutely unstoppable. We are live and we are direct. The time now is exactly 10 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 minutes to 9 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. And whatever you are doing and wherever you are, you must understand one thing and one thing alone, that nobody, absolutely nobody is going to stop what we are doing. No one can, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. That is one thing you must bear in mind. And for those of them who are working with the zoo and continue to work with the zoo, of course, as you well know, the day of reckoning is coming. And when that day comes, there will be no mercy. Absolutely no mercy. Absolutely no mercy whatsoever. I don't know if Facebook and their customary way of doing things have affected us, but we must continue. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, my honorable leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Hamadike one of Biafra land.
Thank you very much. And where are you calling from?
This is Sunday Ozemena. I'm calling from Dakar, Senegal.
From Dakar, Senegal, they have disconnected us. We are trying to get back. They have disconnected us. We are trying to get back. Please continue. Continue what you're saying.
Mazi, may Chukwu Okebema continue to bless you and keep you till you restore Biafra for us.
You say?
Mazi, I say, of course.
He say?
Mazi, I'm a volunteer.
Very good.
Because ihe nsị ka m gwa gị biko maazị bụ ka ibiko ka ịtụ anya na leruo anya na maka ndị volunteer anyị concerning maazị Obasi biko maazị tinye ya n'okwu aha.
Why are you mentioning his name? Why are you mentioning his name? Why? Do you know the whole world is listening? And why are you mentioning his name? I ask you. Why? I don't understand where this one is coming from. I cannot understand some people. I cannot understand them where they are coming from. I have no idea where they are coming from. And I wish that they will be able to follow everything that we are doing and be able to respond accordingly. Oh my goodness. The broadcast was interrupted. I don't know what is happening to these people. They are now messing us up. Please, if you're listening, I think people are listening via YouTube and apps and all other platforms. I don't know what's going on. They are, of course, as usual, trying to mess us up, or should I say, mess themselves up, not us. Mess themselves up and not us. We